Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, everyone. Miss Natasha here. I hope you're doing well. If you don't know, I'm a mental wellness creative and disability advocate, and I just am so excited because I'm on another adventure, querying into what pride means to you. I just appreciate others, and I just want to say that I appreciate you. I will not be introducing you. I would love for you to please introduce yourself. But before you do, I'd like to say the three words that I thought of when when I thought of asking you to do this interview. So one was vibrant, one was wise, full of wisdom, and one was loving.
Oh, my
So can you
heart.
please let us know who you are?
Thank you so much, Natasha. Well, my name is Anisha Reindorf, and thank you for having me back on the show again. This is my second time on the show, so I'm really excited. And we're talking about something completely new and different from our last conversation. My company is Haiku Co., and we are your holistic approach to cannabis and trying to break that stigma. But with that comes pride, art community, queer community, and cannabis. And I don't think we can have any of those without one another. I think they all go hand in hand. And we definitely wouldn't have legalization without the pride and queer community.
And I will just push in there. Thank you for that. Of all ages, because you work with a wide range of people. So thank
Yes,
you.
that we do. I definitely focus on senior care,
Mhm.
but working with all ages, all types of life. We work with pregnant moms, moms after postpartum, babies for eczema, psoriasis, all different ailments. So we're just here to like definitely break that stigma, try to become a household name. I want to be able to be like, oh, go to your bathroom and you find Haiku products, go to your kitchen and you find our products. That is the goal, to be a home brand, basically, um, for everyone to know, for all your family members to know about.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll just dive into the most straightforward question, and that is, what does pride mean to you?
Yeah. So pride means embracing and celebrating who I am without fear or shame. It involves recognizing my worth, acknowledging my achievements, feeling confident within my own identity, um, and about standing up for myself and others, advocating for those who may not be able to, um, while trying to create equity for the community and fostering a sense of community, and belonging within that.
Mhm. That's exactly why I really do appreciate you, because you also have you build community out like outside of your space, like all across Canada,
Yeah, that is definitely
Ontario,
the
Ontario.
goal. I don't think I could do this without community and like moving from Toronto to Alberta, finding that sense of like family or community was really tough. So I'm like, I need to figure this out on my own and create my own community for like-minded individuals like myself, to fit in to a space that we may not necessarily belong in.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just heartwarming because they say safe space so freely, and they have no idea
Yeah.
what that's like. And I say they as a state blanket statement because it's that statement is like it could be anyone, but thank you for building certain atmospheres for others to feel at home and welcome.
Yeah. Because I didn't feel at home. So, right, like I feel like that's how you are able to create what you actually want when you don't have something, right?
Yeah, I was very afraid to step out and do that. So it's just being around others and seeing their tenacity to just be themselves, authentically themselves, is how I always say I'm authentically me. right? But what does that really look like? So thank you.
No, thank you. I feel like you are a perfect example of living authentically yourself.
Yeah, well, over the last 10 years, I would say so. It took me a while to kick my butt to like just let it go, you know?
And I feel like your books are a great friend to like to start that for everyone
Yeah,
to start authentically living themselves.
thank you. That's my
The book brand,
intention.
that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because who, if no one's telling you or showing you, how do you
Yeah.
know? That's
How do
why,
you know?
when you have houses, so you have House of Debonair, House of so and so. It's
Yeah,
like it just like you have someone giving you a hug when no one's giving you a hug.
I
You
feel
know?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what we're all trying to create over here. Or like
Yeah.
us like-minded people are trying to create.
Yeah. 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 Alrighty. Um, I'll go into a little deeper one. Where and when did you first feel accepted?
Okay. So um for those who don't know, Natasha was grateful enough to send me some of these questions beforehand. And I did have a chance to kind of uh read them out and think about them. Um, but a lot of these questions did catch me off guard just because I'm
Mhm.
like, ooh, do I feel accepted? Like it was definitely a thought process, um, thinking of like this answer.
Mhm.
But I would like to say that growing up, I feel like, especially like in the early 90s, everything was very much gay. Like everything was like very, like very metro, right? Like it was okay for guys to wear nail polishes and skirts. And like we saw that with like Dennis Rodman and like we saw that with RuPaul. Like RuPaul was
Yep.
very much a part of our upbringing. Unlike this newer generation that has drag race and all that stuff. Like
Mhm.
we had
True.
musical hip
Ellen.
hop, voguing RuPaul before Madonna was a thing. And I feel like we were very much queer society. Everything was very open and going to an all girls school, like I feel like I didn't have a gaydar either because everything was very open. Like so touching each other was very like, oh, it's just an all girls school thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was not reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like it was very accepted at a point in time, and I felt very accepted at a point in time. And I feel like throughout the later millennial era is when we got like a lot of segregation and like we went back in history or like back to the bad parts of history,
Mhm.
when the queers weren't accepted. And we're going back to like, I want to say like the 60s, 70s, where like the AIDS epidemic happened. And, like everyone had this persona of what it was like to be queer. So, in terms of when and where did I first feel safe? In childhood and now in my 30s.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
in between era was a weird time for the world. But yeah, I feel somewhat accepted now. I'm often told I'm not gay enough, which is very
Mhm.
funny.
Mhm. Mhm.
Especially when my wife and I have been together for 10 years this year or coming up. So yeah, I think we're often told that we're not gay enough because we have had straight relationships. We both were engaged to men prior to being with each other. So we're often told, like, oh, you don't listen to enough Carly Rae Jepsen or like, you're not gay enough. And we've heard this constantly. So yeah, I think it's a very sorry I can't pinpoint that
Yeah.
answer, but
No, no.
that is my experience of being accepted in this community is not really knowing what acceptance is within the community or feeling it 1000%.
Mm. Wow, thank you for that. Um, what does living fully look like to you?
Pardon me?
What does living fully look
Okay.
like to you?
Living fully, living fully. It it looks like living life with enthusiasm and authentically me. I think it involves like pursuing my passions, which I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, maintaining meaningful relationships and friendships, and continuously growing and learning. Knowledge is power. So like I'm constantly seeking more knowledge and learning about my own craft and trying to upgrade my craft essentially. Um, I think it's about balancing my personal life and my professional life and prioritizing my own well-being whilst embracing um opportunities and different challenges with like a positive mindset. I know that sounds kind of corny. We're all like, oh, we can't be positive all the time, but like it takes nothing to have that mindset to be like, yes, I know this may not work out, but like at least I'm doing what I can do to see if it does, you know?
Yes. Wow. And that's why your business is so great because you put in the efforts, to learn what you need to make it function.
And that's all I want. Like, I just want everyone to like succeed, not necessarily with my products. Like my products are healing products, but like I want to see all of us succeed, especially like us Black women. Like we need to be
Mhm.
cheering each other on and succeeding out here and like helping each other out. And if we're not able to do that for each other, who's doing
Mhm.
it for us, you know? So I want to be able to be like the forefront and stand up there and be like, look at Natasha. Like, we need to go to for her. Create, don't hate. Like,
That's right. That's
we're
right.
here rooting for others.
That is right. Oh my goodness. Like, again, we've only had several interactions, but I really appreciate you.
Oh, I
So,
appreciate you, Mama.
and I recall the last time even when I saw you and you were up on that stage, I was feeling that sense of pride because you were up there. I didn't know you, but the feeling of some other Black woman from wherever she came from coming on stage, putting on her best and speaking eloquently about what she knows, that just like makes me want to go and conquer the world. Thing,
That means so much to me. Oh,
Yeah.
I was like a nervous wreck being up there on that stage. I'm not a good like presenter whatsoever. So I was kind of like, tap into your musical theater era, like tap into your theater, girl. Like this is all acting, but
See?
trying to be as authentically me as possible. I'm
That's
sorry,
right.
Wicket wanted to be part of this
Yeah,
interview. He's
that's
there
all
scratching my
right.
legs. He
That's
doesn't
all
even like to
right.
be on camera. He just wants to be up here.
What I'll ask another one. What does sharing your pride look like?
Sharing my pride looks like what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis and creating these new events that I've started. So I've recently started Canna events. It's usually Canna drag, Canna paint night, Canna different themes. All of them include the queer community. Our Canada drag has picked up a lot of traction recently, and we have now been able to go across Canada with our show. So that has been very exciting. Each show is different locals from that city that are performing. We have a musical guest who may or may not be gay. Or queer, and then we also have like different vendors. We just make sure it's a community event, and like everyone's like, oh, Canada drag, it's very gay, and I'm like, actually the most people that come are like straight men that actually come out to enjoy the show. So it's really nice to see like the whole like variety and different people that are able to come out to these events, and we have people of different religions and different backgrounds that come out, and it's just an entertaining event. So that's been really fun, and it's being able to share my pride. Like instead of just keeping it to Edmonton, we just went to Leduc last week. It was actually their very first Pride ever in that city. We went to
Yeah.
Calgary last
I agree.
weekend. We're going to Peterborough, Ontario this upcoming weekend for Pride. So y'all in Ontario, Peterborough, check us out. And then the 14th or 13th, we're coming back and we're going to Red Deer. So then we're going to Winnipeg. Like we're all over Canada right now. So that is really exciting. We've had a few of RuPaul's Canada's Drag Race contestants be a part of the show. We've had some Juno winners be a part of the show for entertainment. It's just amazing. Like it makes me so excited. But it's supporting others on their own journey, on their queer journey as well. And advocating for like inclusion and diversity within that space. Like I feel like participating in not just my own community events, but like in all of the community events, it takes initiative and promotes acceptance for all.
That's wonderful. That's so wonderful. Okay, so I'll keep going. Confidence and self-respect. What do those words mean to you?
Confidence is believing in my own abilities, trusting myself, and handling various situations that I may think I need help for, but I know I'm reassuring my own self and my own decisions that I'm making, and also not being afraid to take risk. I think that's important, and failure is important. And as Jessie Reyes said, like fail sooner in your career. It's better to fail sooner in your career than later on down the road, because you kind of know which building blocks to go from there. And self-respect is valuing myself, setting healthy boundaries, which is really, really hard. It involves recognizing my own worth and treating myself with kindness and expecting that same respect from others. And I feel like we don't do that enough. And Granny always used to say, like, you got to show respect to earn respect. And everything that my grandmother used to say to me as a child, I'm now like, oh my God, she was right. We're all learning those lessons now later on in life. But yeah, your grandparents are always right. Whatever lessons they taught you, they're right.
It's true. That's a fact.
So yeah, it's just like being true to myself, being authentically me, and trusting my own abilities. And whatever your gut feeling is, that first initial feeling you get with any decision you make, that first feeling is always your right decision. So don't like second guess that.
Okay. Growing up, how did you stay alive? What kept you going?
Resilience, having a amazing family and friend group, aspirations. I've never like envisioned working for anyone else. Like growing up as a child, maybe it's because all my family members own their own businesses, but I never grew up thinking like, oh, I want to be a lawyer. Like I never like, I want to go and work for somebody. I'm going to be in the government. Like, no, that was never a goal. My goals from when I was like 4 or 5 was to own a community space, actually, for all ages. I was really a mermaid child growing up. So I really wanted to convert this Loblaws that was like up the street from me at like Brimley and Eglinton intersection. If you guys are familiar with that intersection. There's now a No Frills there, but it used to be Loblaws back in the day. And I remember when they shut this place down, I wanted to buy that spot. Like that was my goal, to buy that Loblaws and convert it into a full, like, all ages water park, but separated for children and adults. Because
That's
I feel like
wicked.
children needed their own space and adults needed their own space. And like that was like my goal. And I feel like growing up now, I'm like, oh, I'm not too far off of that goal from when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
No. No. And
So like,
you're
yeah.
making that space all around the all around on Ontario.
Yeah, like that. I just wanted community. I've always wanted that sense. And I don't know why. I don't know what was in me that was like, I need this, but like I've always craved to create that space
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
and not
Thank
work for anybody.
and
F
not
working for
and
the
not
man.
and not like and no bashing to people who do and but there's also other people who that's why when I meet people I also if they are working for someone else
Mhm.
I say so what do you do and then they're like they say I'm like no what else do you do like that and
Yeah.
I always have some interesting other kind of hobby or project that they're working on
Hmm.
or starts them on the path to thinking of what they're good at or what they want to do.
Exactly. And you know what? I was at Cactus last night with a group of women, and the conversation did lead into something along these lines where it's like some people are cut out to create their own businesses and work for themselves and create and foster communities, and some
Mhm.
people are not, and that is okay. We all have our different talents. Like
Mhm.
we can't have a world that's circulating if we don't all play our parts, you know, like we all, and we can't all own our own businesses. It's just not
Mhm.
like some people are just not cut out for that, and it's unfortunate, and you see
Mhm.
it, and like that
Mhm.
is okay. So we all need to play our parts and like know what our strengths are, because that's the only way that we're going to succeed together.
Okay, I'm trying to stay so like still and calm because these answers are just lovely. You know, thank you, and I hope you all are listening.
Yeah, play your part.
Right? Um, let's see. Okay, what does it feel like to be included?
um I feel now, after doing these events, I'm feeling a lot more included, whereas before, as I said, I've been told lots of times that I'm not gay enough, or like because I came out later in life, my
Mhm.
feelings aren't as valid as someone who's been gay all their life. Whatever your case may be. Um, to be included now, it's very empowering and very validating.
Mhm.
I feel like growing up as um a mixed child of like several mixes, everyone was like, "Oh, what are you? What is this?" Da 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 da. And now in like my adult queerness, everyone's like, "What are you? What is this?" Like it's like the same questions. And like I remember as a kid, being like, "Look, my mom's black. See, I'm black. My mom's black." Like,
Yeah.
and
Right.
now as an adult, I'm like, "Look, I have a wife. That's my
Yeah.
wife." Like
Wow.
always having to like prove myself.
Mm.
So it's kind of validating now with these events, because it is creating a sense of belonging and acceptance, um, especially where my contributions and presence are valued.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, because it's rough out here sometimes. I feel like we always have to prove ourselves to somebody else.
Yeah.
Um, but if I'm able to collaborate freely within my own space now, it helps not only myself thrive, but everyone else in the community thrive. So personally and professionally. Like,
What? Oh man, that's exactly right. um, I think I may skip this one. Okay, so what does friendship mean to you?
what does friendship mean to me?
Mhm.
Ooh, great question. I feel like I don't have a lot of friends. I have family.
Mm,
You're either family or an acquaintance. Like
okay.
that in between friend word is like kind of
Mhm.
rare just because yeah, anyone who's like a real friend, they're not a friend anymore. They're my family. They're my chosen family. Um, I think friends are the family that we choose.
Mhm.
And yeah, yeah, you got me there.
Because in the queer community, friends are a vital lifeline, but they could also drag you down.
For sure. I know I've lost a lot of friendships when I came out.
Mhm.
Um, which like me and my closest friend who also she also had lots of other queer friends, but when I came out it was an issue. So
Mhm.
like it was strange. It was strange to say the least of how friendships, even family relationships have changed after coming out and like seeing like witnessing it.
Mhm.
Um but I'm also like old enough to be like, I don't care. Like I
Mhm.
don't care about your opinion. And if you really love me, you would accept all parts of me. And my queerness has nothing to do with you, like whatsoever. I love with my heart. And I
Mhm.
think there's a huge stigma when it comes to queers about like, oh, you're gonna be attracted to everybody. Actually, no, very much
Mhm.
no. I was in Calgary this past weekend, as I said, for Canada Drag that we hosted over there.
Mhm.
And I met this American DJ because Sled Island was going on. And for those who don't know, Sled Island is like our Canadian version of Coachella, where we bring in lots of musicians from all around the world. And they do that in Calgary. So there was a DJ who I met who's very, very flirty. And like, I was actually very uncomfortable. I was like, well,
Yeah,
there's my
it's too
wife.
much
Like, I need my
slathering
wife.
it
Like,
on.
and like and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're like one of the people that people talk about when it comes to like
Everywhere.
doing this." And when she was just like, "Oh, I could just make out with anybody." I was like, "Maybe I'm not gay enough for this.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not like
yeah,
like leave me alone."
yeah, yeah,
But I'm very much like pansexual, so I love with my heart, and it doesn't
yeah.
matter what's in between your legs. Like, if I love you, I love you, and that's just because of your brain. Because knowledge is power and knowledge is sexy. Like,
Yeah, 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 and it actually shows you put some thought into your life.
yeah,
Some intention.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So
So,
oh, sorry.
yeah, it's been interesting, and, yeah.
All right. So in saying that, to you, what does queerness, oh, excuse me, why did I say that? I don't know why I wrote that, but what does queerness mean to you and what does queerness represent?
Queerness means being living your life the way you want it to and as happy as you want it to be, and not caring necessarily what people think or want to think of when it comes to your happiness. I think you need to choose you first, and that is like that is everything when it comes to queerness and what it means.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Being true to every step of the way, whether it's in your appearance, whether it's in your clothes, whether it's in the books you read, or like who you hang out with, what you like. I don't think there should be a standard for it because, like, again, after being with my wife for 10 years and hearing like we're not gay enough, that's like so weird to me. Like, well, how does that even exist? Like, shouldn't we just be happy for one another? Like, there shouldn't be a standard to uphold when it comes to our happiness
Thank you.
or our queerness.
Thank you. And in and outside of this that realm, you would think you'd be more welcomed and accepted in your queer.
Yeah. And
And
like,
it's
what does
always
that have
been
to do with who I am? Like, we're all such unique individuals. Like, I think my queerness is a part of me, but it's not all of me. You know what I mean? My blackness is yes, it's all of me, but it's still like not how my business shouldn't be based off of that, you know?
thank
None
you.
of this ish
Thank
of
you.
like who we are should be based on what we do, you know?
I remember that you were talking to me a couple years ago about that, about something like that, but you're not a black company?
Yeah, like,
You're
well, we are a
aware
Black
of
company, but, like, it
you
doesn't need
are,
to
yes,
be.
yes, you are. Yes, sorry. Yes, yes, you are a black company, but it's like, don't you don't people see that anyone could buy from it? It doesn't have to be pinpointed and pushed in one little hole.
Yeah, don't box me in.
It should be on the panels where all those other women were.
Yeah, like, I don't I get it to a degree right now where,
Yeah,
um, we're seeing a lack of equality, we're seeing a
that's
lack
true.
of diversity.
That's true.
However, it's not who we are, right? Like, I
True.
don't ever want someone to be like, "Oh, Haiku, that Black company." Like,
That
no,
this is
Haiku's
what I
is
meant.
that
This
vegan
is
holistic company.
this
Don't,
is what I
or
meant.
like that gay company. No,
Thank you.
we are your holistic company first and foremost. Like, my Blackness, my queerness, my being a female shouldn't have anything to do with it.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, I think people
Uh,
get caught up with race and sex and like religion. Like, what does that have to do with any? We're all humans and we're all little ants on this planet. Like, we're just trying to make it. And like, it shouldn't be based, nothing that we do should be based on who we are for appearance or religion or sexual orientation wise.
that's right. Wow. So I have two more questions, and it's just more of a wrap up, and then I'll say my spiel about why I started Create Don't Hate. So the
Yeah.
first one is what words of advice or encouragement can you offer a family member of a queer individual?
Um, Advice would be true to yourself. Um, Acceptance is hard, but we can't get there without being true to yourself, and acceptance for like self acceptance as well as acceptance from others. So I think you, for any kids out there who are maybe still in the closet or hiding their true self, you need to accept that first before you can even want that from anybody else,
Mhm.
because yeah, it all starts within. It all starts within. And like, how are you expecting your friends or your family to accept you when you don't accept yourself? So my advice is to accept yourself, express yourself freely, do what is right for you within like the constraints of society. Like, like, don't do anything too wild, but like make
Mhm.
choices that align with your true self and stand up for what you believe in.
Wow. It's so nice. That's so nice. And how about their families or their friends? Do you
What
have
should their friends do to
like,
accept them?
yeah, like what could you tell them about how what that looks like?
Love is love.
Mhm.
um so it shouldn't matter what your other family members are doing with their love life. Love is love. And again, if we look at every history book, every religious book, every art gallery, we will see throughout history, love has always been love. And we
Mhm.
see that with like Greek paintings and like Italian museums and African museums of women being with other women and men being with other men. Like, it shouldn't have to matter what you're doing in your sexual life for your family members to accept you for who you are and accept your true self.
Mhm. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, I just like I hope I hope y'all are listening. You know, I hope y'all are listening. This is exactly
Yeah.
why I
It
wanted.
takes nothing to be a good person. Like, it takes nothing to just like take the time to understand. And if you don't understand, if you don't get it, read
Mhm.
a book, read
Mhm.
our history, read like wherever your culture is from, read that history. If you're Hindu, look at all the Hindu gods and goddesses that all were two-spirited and
Yes.
essentially, look at Indigenous history, look at our Black history. Like we've all of our histories show us that queerness, sexuality, it's all part of us. So why aren't we accepting of it today?
Mhm. Thank you. Anisha. All right, I'm gonna say my spiel. I'm just going to say, finish off with what why I started the Create Don't Hate show, and then you could just uh please at the end of that give us any words that you'd like or encouragement you'd like to say, and also where others can get in contact with you. So I'll get started. Uh,
You
Create
got it.
CreateDon'tHate was born out of frustration, the frustration of individuals hating on me because of my differences. I wanted to start a movement of hope, courage, and love to build community and connection in the process. Create Don't Hate is a real practical way of sharing hope to those who have been muted and shut down because of just being who they are. Create Don't Hate is the anthem that I would play to get through the tough times. So please do share with everyone anything else you'd like to say and also how others can get in contact with you.
Yeah, I just want to say to please be unapologetically yourself. Stay unique to yourself, live authentically yourself. Do not conform to societal expectations. Do not do anything that doesn't resonate with your own personal values. Life is about expressing yourself and being true to yourself. So do it without hesitation and do it true to yourself. And on that note, please, please, please find me at www.haikuco.com. Instagram is haiku.productions. Ontario, come out to Peterborough this Saturday, or I don't know when we're recording this, June 24th in Peterborough. We are raising money for Sprout House, which is a queer organization that helps queer youth, homeless youth. So just trying to get them off of the feet. Blah, I can't even talk anymore. But Sprout House is an amazing organization that's helping all queer youth from the ages of 16 to 24 just to get a handle on their life. So we are raising money for that. We have amazing drag performers. We have an amazing artist coming out. And again, all the money goes directly to that. We keep no money ourselves. It's all going towards these organizations helping out different queer youth. So yeah, haiku.productions, haikuco.com. Just come and find me. And if you need any cannabis help or questions, concerns, or you just want to say hi, I'm here. Like, reach out to me. I'm easy to talk to. So yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you, Natasha, for having me and having me back. It means a lot to be here and be on your platform because Create Don't Hate is an amazing platform for everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, all right, see you later, everyone.
Have a good one. Thank you.